I've had a few people ask me how to use Reshade recently, and thought I'll just show a quick tutorial how to do that and what it can do. First thing you do is you download the actual Reshade packet here. Download it. They give you a little exe file. I already have it downloaded, so I like to put a nice little folder called tools. Keep other stupid shit I used in. Double click the exe, run, click to select your game. If you can easily just find your game exe, you can do it that way. But it's important that if it's inside of any number of folders, you have to go to like the lowermost folder of the exe. It might say binaries or content or x64 or x86 or something within the actual game structure. I'll just go ahead and demonstrate real quick. So I'm looking for Star Wars. I'm a fucking nerd. You know. Oh, well, I can't see it. Oh no, what do I do? You know, you might come to this situation because fuck it. So go to your library, find it. You go to manage, browse local files. Okay, as you can see, just like I said, sometimes they're not just sitting there. Oh look, there's a game data folder. Well, there you go. There it is. Copy this. Go here. Browse. Go up here. Control V to paste. Enter. There, select the actual exe. Now this is the important part. You have to select the right API. A lot of newer games starting to use Vulkan, for instance, like Doom Eternal. You can also program this to like literally do shader injection over every Vulkan program on your computer. I wouldn't do that because every game's different. OpenGL, that's mainly software rendered games. You know, it's not too many games use that, but a lot of emulators do. Direct 3D 11 and 12, those are your newer games. Those are anything DirectX 12 would be like Universal Windows Platform games, and your much newer games on Steam. Though even most of those are still going to have a DirectX 11 or 10 backend. This particular game, I believe, is DirectX 9, but it may be DirectX 8. If it's DirectX 8, it will actually oftentimes be able to detect that and tell you. But I believe, like I said, DirectX 9. So you want to check mark any of the effects you want to use. You might have like no idea what kind of effects you might want to use. I personally, I know I want to use ambient occlusion. I know I want to do some anti-aliasing. So I'll use the ones that say anti-aliasing. Don't need any color effects. I think the colors aren't too bad, but I probably will still adjust them with the curves. But all that should be in the basic suite effects and standard effects. There's color isolation. If I remember right, that's a cool one if you want like a Sin City or like hatred effect, you know, where just one color is highlighted specifically. It makes things look a little edgy. That's what you want in your fucking murder video games. All the blood all lit up, you know. I don't know, it might be cool in a game like Max Payne or something. Just give it like a noir feel. Anyway, so click OK. It'll install it. You'll see a new folder appear called Reshade Shaders. At this point, if you have any custom shaders, like I have this ray tracing one by Marty McFly, you open that up, open up your Reshade shaders, just copy those over, and they'll just add those files to those folders, the same name. They'll just merge the two. Always keep your original in the archive or a separate copy and just copy it, because if you do the drag and drop, then you don't have to worry about, you know, copying it from each one to each one. You just keep the actual original zip. It's a lot easier just to use it every time like that. There's a way to actually just use the repository or the GitHub of the shader creator. I believe Marty McFly does have a GitHub, but I don't know the exact address to that, so I'm not going to do it that way. It's overly complicated, even though it's supposed to be easier. Yeah, let's see how that worked. Uh-oh. May not have worked, but we'll see if it was just because I didn't start it from the exe. This was a modified version. So, oh, nope, worked. Alright, as you'll see, it pops up a little Reshade interface, and it says, press home to start the tutorial. So you press the home key. If you don't have a keyboard with a home key, you're fucking wrong. Fix yourself. I'll say something about tutorial and all that bullshit. I just ignore that. You can take the tutorial, tell you how to use different things, but I think process of elimination and just experimentation is actually your best friend when it comes to making your own profiles and effects and customizing, because these are all general effects that you're adding as a shader layer, but they generally can be fine-tuned exactly to fit your needs. Also, I'm just gonna dox myself real quick. Yeah, that's my name. So I'm gonna start single player training. Okay, I didn't like the training. Likely this is a problem with me, or the new update that they did to this game recently, and it's broken a lot of mods and different things. Most games you won't have those kind of issues, but EA is, well, they're a shit. And they own the rights to this series now, and yeah. Yeah, it looks like willing to bet the new update broke it. So we're just gonna go to a different game that's a newer API. This one uses DirectX 10 or 11, I'm not sure. I fucked around the other day with the illumination and stuff, because this game does have like screen space reflections and certain little things that do make it really quite nice and a beautiful remaster. But you can always improve certain things. Okay, this is gonna take a second for my graphics card to actually get the clock speed. There we go. Fuck these stupid ogres. Alright, so get to a portion where we can see the lighting enhancements and things. So as you can see, I have the ray tracing turned on, turned on, turned off, turned on, turned off. So what this does is it actually creates arrays off where it determines where the global lighting source is, and then it will allow it to shade and refract based on that. So as you can see, the built-in ambient occlusion and screen space reflections do a pretty good job from default, but you can add a little bit more effect and detail to the tone, and it kind of just adds a bit more detail into the depth of things and makes it overall look a bit better, as you can see. Getting a little bit of banding as well in the atmosphere, and I believe I can turn on debanding to kind of fix that. Looks a little better, but I don't think it's that big of a difference. You can do little HDR kind of fixes, anti-aliasing, more blooming HDR if that's kind of more your thing. These are different illumination source. As you can see, you can actually see directly how those work, how the lighting reflects off things, or refracts rather. Here's a ambient occlusion. This one takes a bit of customization to get right, so you have to kind of fine tune it a lot. And with the ray tracing, a lot of times you're going to overpower it anyway, so you don't need it. That is if you're using the ray tracing anti-aliasing, or sorry, ambient occlusion. There's anti-aliasing you can use here if you're having a lot of slowdowns with using the built-in anti-aliasing. It's good to use these. They work pretty good. Make things just look a little bit smoother. And you can use different sharpening effects as well if you want to be able to see a little bit more detail and you don't like how the depth of field makes things. There's clarity, which is a good one. As you can see, that you can see a very big difference instantly with the textures there. Kind of makes them look a little less foggy, a little more clear. So if you want something like a crisp cartoony look, you can do that. There's another one like literally called cartoon that can add like a kind of Borderlands effect to things. It also takes a little bit of tuning. This one here, but as you can see, it just adds a little bit of a border to details. If you look on the tiles, you can see a lot more. Now, increase the power. And the edge slope. See, like you get like kind of a Borderlands 2, Borderlands 1 kind of over cartoonification thing. You can do something like that if you want a little bit of a cartoony effect. I'm good with the way I have it set right now. But do this, customize the colors. A lot of times I'll just use curves. Curves is a pretty good color adjustment in general. It tends to make things look a little less foggy and just fadey, you know, and white it out. As you can see, it just brings out a lot more vibrance to the image and a lot more depth. It's definitely worth it. Let's go ahead and play a little bit. I'm getting fucked up. Already out of hits. Oh no, I'm dead. Yeah, but you get the gist. Oh shit.